Xbox Game Pass is a Netflix-style service providing access to hundreds of games for a flat monthly fee. There's a range of heavy hitters available from all generations of all Xbox consoles, from the original Xbox to the Xbox One, thanks to Xbox backwards compatibility, including all Gears of War and Halo games, a selection of Rare's back catalog, and the likes of Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim, Forza Horizon 5, and Final Fantasy X. In today's video, we're going to take a look at what new games are going to be released on Xbox Game Pass. Please like and subscribe and click the bell icon to get new video updates. Without further ado, let's get into today's video. Grid Legends. Grid Legends contains more than 130 tracks to race on, ranging from real-life circuits like Brands Hatch, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Suzuka International Racing Course, and the return of Mount Panorama Circuit, to street circuits in various cities such as San Francisco, Paris, London, and Moscow. The game features more than 100 vehicles, including touring cars, semi-trailer truck, open-wheel car, stadium trucks, drift cars, and even electric vehicles, to compete in arena ovals, on street circuits, or off-road tracks. For the first time in the series, players have the ability to create their own races, including custom routes, obstacles, vehicle restrictions, and rules. The game is available on Game Pass now. Disney Dreamlight Valley. Disney Dreamlight Valley, also known as just Dreamlight Valley, is an upcoming role-playing video game published by Gameloft. It will feature locations, characters, objects, and cameos from various Disney and Pixar films. It was announced on April 27, 2022, and is expected to fully launch in 2023. Early access started on September 6, 2022. Disney Dreamlight Valley is a hybrid between a life sim and an adventure game rich with quests, exploration, and engaging activities featuring Disney and Pixar friends, both old and new. The game is available on Game Pass now. Train Sim World 3. Train Sim World 3 is the most immersive railway simulation from Dovetail to date. For the first time since the series debuted, the game really sells the illusion that you're on a journey. While the release still has obvious visual flaws, the new lighting, volumetric clouds, and dynamic weather system take the presentation to the next level, and the user interface improvements should not be underestimated either. The target audience for a title like this will never be especially large, but few other franchises find a balance between simulation, virtual tourism, and zen-like relaxation quite like this one. The game is available on Game Pass now. DC League of Super Pets: The Adventures of Krypto and Ace. As glitchy and low-budgeted as it might be, DC League of Super Pets: The Adventures of Krypto and Ace has a great foundation for one of the best Star Fox clones released in years. It nails everything it needed in order to offer a younger demographic and entry-level version of a rail shooter, with a great gameplay loop, some educational value, and a fair, but ever-increasing difficulty curve that's perfectly suited for them. This could have been a disaster, but it ended up being the complete opposite. Kids and adults alike will find enough to enjoy in this pretty decent licensed title. The game is available on Game Pass now. Fallout 76: Expeditions: The Pit, also known as Fallout 76. The Pit is the 13th major update for Fallout 76. It was preceded by Test Your Mettle and will be followed by Nuka World on Tour. It features the former city of Pittsburgh as part of the Expeditions feature. It also includes the 10th season and various new quests. This expedition takes players to the irradiated ruins of Pittsburgh, now known far and wide as simply the Pit. First introduced to players in Fallout 3, the devastated Pennsylvanian city has become dominated by mutated monstrosities and other threats. See what opportunities and dangers await in this new locale when this expedition embarks for Fallout 76 in 2022. The game is available on Game Pass now. You Suck at Parking. Breaking It Down. You Suck at Parking is a quirky driving puzzle game that asks you to park your car in designated spots dotted around a level against a time limit. Sounds simple, right? Wrong. To get to these parking spots, you're going to have to navigate your dinky little car around a track filled with dangerous obstacles that range from simple barrier walls to fiery swinging hammers and giant boxing gloves that will cause your Micro Machine-esque vehicle to explode or knock it off course and into the briny deep. The game is available on Game Pass now. Despot's Game. Despot's Game is a roguelike battle simulation game from Confa Games. You control a band of useless humans who have woken up in a bizarre otherworldly labyrinth with no memories, some weapons, and only one goal: survive. Unfortunately, achieving that goal is not really on the table, as sacrifice is the name of the game. You'll build up your army, equip and train them for battle, and then let them loose, hoping that your army will kill all of the enemy troops before they kill all of yours. The game is available on Game Pass now. Metal Hellsinger. Metal Hellsinger is the rhythmic heavy metal shooter I've always wanted. The thrills of Hellsinger may be too short-lived, and the limited enemy variation, along with repetitious levels, means that once you get into the rhythm of blasting your way through the legions of hell, there isn't much else to delve into. With that said, there is no doubt this has been made by fans of metal and FPS shooters, and the Outsiders have created a beautiful rock ballad through hell that's worth your time. If you're looking to conduct your way through a demonic metal symphony, with hellish guns as your baton, Metal Hellsinger needs to be in your library of games. The game is available on Game Pass now. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Odyssey tells a mythological history of the Peloponnesian War between Athens and Sparta from 431 to 422 BC. Players control a Spartan mercenary who fights on both sides of the conflict as they attempt to find their family and eliminate the mysterious cult of Cosmos. Odyssey also continues the story arc of Layla Hassan, a major character introduced in Origins, who relives the mercenary's memories through the Animus device. Odyssey has a larger focus on historical mythology and a smaller focus on the conflict between the Assassins and Templars, which is the central narrative element present in most Assassin's Creed games. Throughout the game's development, the team was inspired by other contemporary RPG titles including The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt, The Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim, and Fallout 4. The music of the game was composed by The Flight. The game is available on Game Pass now. Danganronpa V3: Killing Harmony. Welcome to a new world of Danganronpa, and prepare yourself for the biggest, most exhilarating episode yet. Set in a psycho-cool environment, a new cast of 16 characters find themselves kidnapped and imprisoned in a school. Inside, some will kill, some will die, and some will be punished. Reimagine what you thought high-stakes, fast-paced investigation was as you investigate twisted murder cases and condemn your new friends to death. Forget what you thought you knew about Danganronpa and join a completely new cast of Ultimates for a brand new beginning. In a world where everyone is trying to survive, nobody's motivations are quite what they seem. Use your skills to solve each new murder or meet a gruesome end. The world is shaped by our perception of it. Fast-paced trial scenes will require lies, quick wits, and logic to guide your classmates to the right conclusions. The game is available on Game Pass now. Ni no Kuni: Wrath of the White Witch Remastered. Despite having a bit of a disappointing sequel, Ni no Kuni: Wrath of the White Witch is a JRPG that has already established itself as a classic in the genre. The game's breathtaking style, touching story, and intuitive combat system all helped make it a worldwide major hit when it launched nearly a decade ago. With all that in mind, it's no surprise that so many new and old RPG fans are excited to revisit the original Ni no Kuni on modern consoles and PCs. That said, Ni no Kuni is still a fantastic experience, regardless of which platform players opt for. The game is available on Game Pass now. Fuga: Melodies of Steel. Fuga is set in a war-ravaged world where a village is destroyed by the fascist Burman Empire. 11 child survivors band together after the attack and board a gigantic tank known as Tyrannis, a relic of an ancient but technologically advanced civilization, in order to travel across the dangerous landscape and rescue their families who were taken prisoner. The Tyrannis houses a super weapon called the Soul Cannon, which is capable of immense destruction at the cost of a crew member's life, with the main characters having to choose when and whom to sacrifice in order for the group to reach their destination. The game is separated into 12 chapters and features multiple endings depending on player choice and how many characters survive. The game is available on Game Pass now. Deathloop. In Deathloop, the player takes on the role of Colt, an assassin stuck in a time loop who has been tasked to take out 8 targets called Visionaries across the island before midnight, as leaving even one alive will cause the time loop to reset and undo his work. Further, should Colt die before taking out the 8 targets, he will wake back up at the start of the loop. The player uses a combination of stealth, parkour, attack skills, guns, gadgets, and powers as in Arcane's previous Dishonored and Prey games to move about the game world. They must avoid or take out guards, learn the patterns of Colt's targets, and to figure out the right order to eliminate said targets using guns, melee attacks, or other environmental means. The game will be added to Game Pass on 20th of September. Hardspace Shipbreaker. Hardspace Shipbreaker is an early access space salvage simulation and physics sandbox game from Blackbird Interactive, creators of the Homeworld series. Players inherit a massive debt that can only be paid through the salvage of increasingly large and valuable ships and space stations. These ships must be sliced and broken through to extract the valuable components within, which can be sold for money to buy upgrades. Salvaging rights on more valuable ships, or chipping away at that debt. The game will be added to Game Pass on 20th of September. Beacon Pines. Beacon Pines is a cute and creepy adventure set within a mysterious book. You play as both the reader of the book and its main character, Luca. Something strange is happening at the old warehouse, and Luca and his friends seem to be the only ones taking notice. Sneak out late, make new friends, uncover hidden truths, and collect words that will change the course of fate. As the book's reader, you'll navigate the story's turning points using the Chronicle, an interactive story tree that branches and grows along with your choices. Exploring one set of events can unlock new charms to use on another branch, leading you to jump back and forth between entirely different versions of the story in order to unravel the mysteries at the heart of Beacon Pines. The game will be added to Game Pass on the 22nd of September. Slime Rancher 2. Slime Rancher 2 is a sequel to the award-winning smash hit original that has been enjoyed by over 10 million fans worldwide. Continue the adventures of Beatrix LeBeau as she journeys to Rainbow Island, a mysterious land brimming with ancient technology, unknown natural resources, and an avalanche of wiggling, jiggling, new slimes to discover. As Beatrix attempts to unravel the island's secrets and uncover its true purpose, she'll build, ranch, and farm within a beautiful conservatory whose sparkling glass walls give her full view of the prismatic paradise she now calls home. The game will be added to Game Pass on the 22nd of September. Grounded. Grounded is a survival game that can be played either in first person or third person. In the game, the protagonist is shrunk to the size of an ant and must strive to survive in a backyard. In the game, the player character, Max, Willow, Pete, or Hoops, needs to consume an adequate amount of food and water, or they will lose health due to starvation or dehydration respectively. The backyard is filled with various bugs and insects, such as spiders, bees, dust mites, and ladybugs. Different insects serve different purposes in the game. For instance, spiders are one of the game's apex predators that will hunt down the players, ladybugs can lead players to food sources, and aphids can be cooked and consumed for food. Players can also cut down grass to collect dewdrops. The game has an accessibility option for players who have arachnophobia, which allows players to decide how scary spiders are going to be in the game. As players progress in the game, they will visit new areas in the backyard. The game's difficulty would slowly increase and enemies that are more dangerous would be introduced. Throughout the game, players need to scavenge resources in the world in order to construct a base so as to defend themselves from hostile enemies. The game will be added to Game Pass on 27th of September. Moonscars. Push the limits of your combat skills and master new abilities to progress through an unforgiving nonlinear 2D world. Face off against the relentless darkness that seeks to destroy you. In Moonscars, every death is a lesson learned, and as you overcome each challenge, new truths will be revealed. The game will be added to Game Pass on 27th of September. Thanks for watching.